You know what else is super unfortunate is I saw your comment there, a major plot spoiler, which was extremely unfortunate. So I'm not going to look at YouTube for the rest of this stream. I'm very disappointed. Such a bummer. So I won't be looking at YouTube chat for the rest of the. I won't be looking at YouTube chat for the rest of the stream. Unbelievable. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah, so saw like the spoiler. Look, I was hoping Navia. To not here. See.
And her two attendants are with her.
Well, I guess this is replaying, so that's good.
Goodness, everyone's finally here.
Someone spoiled like the thing I was hoping to see.
All seem to be
That sucks. That is so frustrating.
Joyville, Jolien, Essen.
No, I'm not reading the side. It's okay. I had a separate pop up here, but yeah, that's really unfortunate. It's all right. I mean, I knew some of the plot because I was in it.
Are you sure you can?
I'm so bummed out though. God, I'm so bummed out that I saw that.
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
I don't know why someone would think that my chat would be the place to put rest in peace to this character. My God, it's just so dumb. Oh God, it's so frustrating.
Someone...
My dear Miss Navia, as all here know, you are after you took over this, not only you, but... Yes, correct. We are one big, therefore...
Yeah, I was in this. I was in this. I don't know why anybody would think that that's worth doing.
I have indeed done a lot for my hometown, and I would be willing to be with you all, but what is the purpose of having me stand here like this? What is there to—
Oh, well, if that—
It's alright.
How wonderful, Miss Navia!
I'm in the cast. Yeah, I've been in the cast before. Who was I? It was a bunch of NPCs in this particular session. I'll point it out when I...
Why are they laughing?
I'll point it out when I get there. Also, I don't know why my internet took a shit, so sorry about that, chat. Thanks for coming back. I was a few NPCs. Right. There's an NPC at a certain part later on in the game.
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus?
Hey, Devil Joe.
Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous.
It's okay, I don't mind. I mean, I do mind very much. It's incredibly disrespectful, but it's alright. I'll survive.
You're one of us.
I'm excited for this quest regardless, and I've really liked this, so
this trial means to keep you
it will impact much less harder now, unfortunately.
She was born a free and independent spirit.
Her actions cannot serve. Please do not mistake her actions as being other.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I've been spoiled on all plot points at this point.
Don't forget, we
between
are all
YouTube thumbnails
here.
And
this is the nation of justice. Even if Miss Navia only everything is measured. Now I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay. We and
you would call this justice? Have you forgotten how much you all once longed to become individuals? To become...
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is flawed, then why should we...
As you said, we can also have our own justice. And that...
My head...
Demoiselle.
Silver... I remember now.
Sorry, I'm like fast forwarding,
everything
but I don't think we need to watch that twice, so it's alright.
Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid.
Absurd! Who are you to say don't let them escape?
That sibilance is insane.
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to... After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses.
She says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly?
What's with these people? Who's jealous of her?
I lost
she belongs
my
to
internet.
Us.
My internet dropped.
Navia, she...
Silence.
Okay, I'm curious to see how this goes.
That's...
Thankfully, I still don't know what's going to happen with New Valette this patch, so I'm excited for that. Still don't know what
Neuvillette.
his role is in all of this,
Such
so that's
commotion
good.
is the court will adjourn.
Our thanks.
Please leave with.
But
Go on
And also,
now,
why is he
Mademoiselle.
there? I guess.
This is your own Malus. My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that.
Malus, Silver.
So they all
Quickly,
become
you must
Oceanids when
reply.
they die, I guess, when they enter the Primordial Sea.
Farewell.
It's okay. This is what happens when you're a Genshin Impact content creator.
No, wait! Just a second!
All right, we're back.
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were defending me at some insane trial.
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare? Paimon could give you a hug.
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you falling toward the water.
Why would he be going there?
You were just about to be dissolved within, but
Plot armor.
I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you.
Oceanids?
It was only for a moment,
Oh.
perhaps even a fraction of a second, but they gave me the chance to retrieve you. Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your consciousness dissipated.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened with Vache?
So people that are dissolved become Oceanids?
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were the people you
Oceanids.
saw in your dream.
I always
Well, that's
told
canon.
them that they didn't have
That's
to
the canon
protect me.
pronunciation.
To think that they'd keep doing so even after death.
Please come with me.
Neuvillette, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right.
It's a canon event.
Perhaps there's something we could chat about?
Why do you look
Huh?
so stiff all of a sudden? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's nothing to talk about, right?
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
I wonder when they'll realize that
Why didn't you just say
Paimon
so
isn't
then?
funny.
Don't you think it's even more awkward to call us over like...
I suppose so.
By the way, Sigween sends her regards.
Ah, Sigewin.
Oh, Sigween.
I
Okay,
hope
excuse
all
me.
is well with her these days. Her work in the fortress of Meropide has not been too much for her.
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there. She's an amazing head nurse.
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewin would need a lot of time to
Okay, but can we
the
understand
world
why
of
you were down
humanity.
there to begin with, though?
Just
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Seedream made him do that. He hopes that you haven't been overwhelmed by all that's happened lately.
thank you. I have indeed been busy lately, and I also hope that everything is going well in the fortress of
It's
Meropide.
really strange.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. Let's chat about something else then.
You're the expert here, Paimon. What should we talk about?
So, Neuvillette, you're probably quite the swimmer, huh? This isn't going anywhere. Let's try something else.
Hi, Kyra. How you doing?
How did you find these ruins? Did the knave tell you?
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents evacuate.
Okay.
They had even transported a large quantity of supplies to the area. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had asked you to investigate the ancient ruins here.
I like how we're casually just like
We
friends
originally
with.
planned to meet up with you,
She's
but
like, "Oh,
we
we're
thought
friends."
you might still be busy with all those official documents. We didn't think exploring the ruins would take very long, and who would have thought you'd wrap things up so quickly?
I hope Navia can get back on her feet. Well, she did almost die. So.
Time to go.
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now.
Okay.
I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one just the party! Let's get going then!
There is no escape. Ha! Now you shall perish.
Oh, I don't want to say goodbye to my friend Anyatko. Sadly, Ayaka will finally take her rightful place. Beautiful music. Yeah, this is really impressionistic. Oh my god, more?
Watch your step.
Oh shit. Oh god. Okay, well, good thing I can. Oh wait, what? Uh-oh, that's not good. Ayaya. The stream is black. I think for you, I see the stream fine. Oh, I can imagine falling on these walkways on the phone must be very easy to do. Why are hilly churros here, you think? They're just like in all the random crevasses of...
Fallen leaves adorn my...
Busted.
It definitely gives an economia. Well, I mean, not really, but a little bit. Now there's boulders. Okay. The random EDM is interesting too.
Seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up.
It's funny that the music only. Hello.
Gotcha. Illusion shattered.
This might hurt a little. Sharing my knowledge.
She should not be level 50 in here.
Shine down.
That hurts.
Oh.
Game's up. Fun's over. Illusion.
Clouds high.
No.
Birds come.
Oh, man, that C6 Yolana's putting in her work, putting in hours. All right, so what's this? Oh, everyone's struggling here. Wow. That's gorgeous. People there that live there and transformed, but I thought all hilly churros came from... I thought all hilly churros came from, Celestia. And then slowly became... And then they became that... I guess they landed there. I can't remember the exact lore of that. I mean, yeah, I remember Caribert. The ones who fled there, yeah. I can see that.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure
Conria,
had
not
some
sorry, not
twists and
Celestia.
turns,
Conria,
but
yeah.
It turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
There seems to be something on the wall. Right. Hilly churros aren't so yeah.
Stone slates. It seems like they were put here as an offering.
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
The surrounding walls also show signs of damage.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past.
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed, the slate's contents correspond to it. Take the second slate, for example.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same. She's facing this...
That's Celestia, isn't it?
What is this? Some kind of... I don't...
And is that Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And is that a ring of people around her? Paimon doesn't quite get it. Are they all in the water?
The fourth image. I know this one. This exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne.
Yes, they do seem to match. He's like, hold up, I'm a dragon, I'll figure this out.
More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it, most likely due to us missing the first slate. I am very sorry.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient stone slates isn't one of your duties.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just looking at it. This says that it's the history of the future, right?
The history of the
I
future.
really hope it doesn't mean that.
Still, Paimon feels like these images are kind of weird when you look at them together.
Huh.
I get what you mean, Paimon. The issue is the order of the third and fourth images, right?
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
The second image is also quite concerning. What sin are the people in the images confessing to?
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image might be the previous Hydro Archon.
Egeria, then. I had never
Egeria?
met her, but her appearance here does match the records. The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? And if not, why would she be in such a posture?
Did she make...
Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents, could this place be the origin of the prophecy? Does that mean that someone, or some people, once saw these slates?
But who would have created these slates and left these words here?
Me. It was me.
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
Good luck with
In
that
that
one.
case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained here, so let's head back first.
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Honestly, who created the slates doesn't matter now. The real question is whether... You don't like my acting game? Bastard. My acting is good. I'm in you. The game.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know how it is. There's some things you just need to be there for yourself.
You still have energy for that, Navia? Paimon's already beat.
Just head back to the Fleuve Cendre and have a rest then. Thanks for keeping me company all this time.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today.
I'm also...
Rest well, everyone. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office. I will share the results of our discussion with you.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Well,
She has long been harboring secrets and will not give them up easily, which makes it all the more my duty to ensure that she understands the present situation.
alright, we'll leave it in your hands then.
I will be carefully considering my words to...
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Cendre is always open to you
Fleuve
as ever.
Cendre.
So please don't think you're in imposition. All right.
Gasp.
We're finally back!
Welcome back. We've got a special menu prepared for you two tonight.
Oh, I thought we were back in the fortress. I almost...
Yay! And there's good food too!
Skipping all the Paimon now.
Someone's already starting to...
Oh, that
Mona!
voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh?
Well, she's a Fontainian as well.
It...
It's... Mona feels overdressed.
Mona?
Did the stars not tell you that we might meet here?
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet on the road.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here. Wait, you're not a Fontainian, are you, Mona?
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city.
She's not a Fontainian.
I was just out for a stroll when I bumped into you. Quite unexpectedly, if I might add. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstadter surname?
Yeah, let's go.
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist's pupil was to change that name. There was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. To my surprise, however, Magistus is not the name of some ancient house or clan. Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means great.
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name.
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take one.
And may I ask what your master's name is?
Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus.
Astromancer.
Whoa, that's a long one. Does it also mean great or something?
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice-as-great Scholar of the Stars. Just take it as a title specific to astrologists.
Thrice as great? That's...
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually, but once she took me in, she changed her name to Trismegistus.
Talk about excessive.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right if you don't get it. You can look into it further should you need to study astrology.
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontainian, are you, Mona? You're from Mondstadt.
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dornman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while, after which I settled down in Mondstadt City.
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least we know you won't be dissolved by Fontaine's waters.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local, but I'd avoid getting too close to any water that looks strange all the same. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean.
Did you come to Fontaine because of the prophecy, Mona?
That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited me to take part in a panel and speak about the circulation of the prophecy as an astrologist. The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine to be in this much trouble.
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think of—
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine, even that of Ultivat. Ascertaining this is akin to reading the fortune of the whole world. I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. If I could do it, you would no longer call me an astrologist, but a visionary. But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary. Its contents involve the fate of the world. Disregarding it would be a mistake.
A visionary? Sounds really powerful and all, but does such a person really exist?
Of course. The old hag could do it, and I'd bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel colleagues of hers who could do something similar.
I need to ascertain the accuracy of the prophecy. Could you help me get in touch with your master?
Huh? Are you sure?
I like how Mona sounds like a
I'll help you.
65-year-old
Isn't
woman.
often that I see you with such a serious look on your
And by that,
face.
the transatlantic
I'll tell you
accent.
once I hear back from her.
I'll tell you when I hear back from her. It's very interesting how it's.
Mona, you're amazing as always.
Oh, well, this
I wonder
is
why she has a
something only I
transatlantic
can do
accent.
After all. So yes, your praises are quite welcome.
That's the greatest of astrologists for you.
Indeed. That's the spirit.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's anything you need, do not hesitate to inform the Spina di Rosula.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now. If I receive any news, I'll be sure to come find you two again.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks.
Well, we were making a ruckus. Try to keep it down next time, Paimon.
Right, but we were able to recruit Mona's help, didn't we?
Just had to get a good night's sleep to replenish your energy.
Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of... But it's time to get up, Traveler. We agreed to go see Neuvillette, so let's pack.
Okay. Ooh, you know what? Who's my favorite character visual design wise? I think Kazuha. I'm really partial to the Inazuma folks. I really like. Wait, aren't there should I activate Twitch drops?
Take it easy.
That way I can put drops in my account. I don't know how to do that. It's probably complicated. That's all right. You've got other streamers you can go get your Twitch drops from. Go see Doro or Bran for the Twitch drops. Or any.
You're here.
Oh, it's already on?
Is something wrong?
Ooh, I am fancy.
Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Oh, they got into a fight? I guess it automatically turned on. Well, grab him for me then.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
Oh, she's actually reading every one of them.
You mean they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything
Why
about
does Farina
that.
not know anything about anything?
But you found them in some ancient ruins?
That's so interesting.
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem
I
to
can't
correlate
tell if
to
she's
the
like,
prophecy.
I can't tell if she's hiding something or if she just truly doesn't know.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island.
Why
in the
does
sky,
it sound like
as if
Neuvillette knows
confessing
everything
something.
about this?
Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
Right.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing?
I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Weird.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
She sounds like a Gemini.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Damn. Kind of a bitch.
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it.
There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. Huh. She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or not.
She seems deeply troubled. She seems to be deliberately hiding something.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh, you noticed. Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage?
I'm afraid questions alone might not suffice. We need to make her understand how dire the situation actually is.
Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
That's how they put her on trial.
She won't just slip away at the first chance she gets.
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can.
Oh god,
If at
do
all
I have to
possible,
run
I would
around
prefer
and...
to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis.
Yep, well, it's going to make me go
information
from
a
point A
god
to point B to
possesses
point
is
C
too
to point
precious,
D.
And so we must take a check. But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Oh, I think I know who to call.
Well, that's everyone, huh?
Oh, thank God.
Speaking of
Okay,
which, it was
good.
pretty smart of you to think
That's
of
good
hiding here.
design.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what families should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded.
Clorinda's coming, huh? Okay, cool.
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here,
Marco.
the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, Let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Hi, Selena. I
Well,
wasn't planning on
it's
it.
just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
That's an odd line.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting
such
for
a
the fish to
downer.
come within reach.
Like, just stay home, buddy.
That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I turn into a dragon and
fear I do not have any related
I
experience.
eat my enemies.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
So, are we going hunting to...
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
That's right.
Oh, so that's what's going on.
Hello? No.
Take it easy.
No! I didn't accept that.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening.
Those meetings sure did make me hungry.
Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on. Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised.
Do you feel more confident after the meetings, Paimon?
It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you?
Is something wrong?
Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all.
No, I didn't.
Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Who's that voice?
Ah, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong.
Is this,
Not completely wrong.
Is this,
You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously.
This must be,
I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine, after all.
Who are you? And what do you want with us?
Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim.
Well, allow me to ask you, will Fontaine's prophecy come true?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been
okay,
prophesized will be fulfilled.
This is Mona's,
You may view such things as the history of the future.
What?
Then I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so easily be changed?
There it is again. Fate. Can there really be no exceptions?
Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking about?
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change. Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone. Hey, it's you who's...
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona!
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected. Not all Fontainians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so we had a brief chat with...
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes. It was Charlotte. I assume you've heard of her, no? That daredevil journalist? I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach
Oh,
the
it must
old
be.
hag.
It must have been. What's her
Try again
name?
tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Scare, Scotty. That's Arknights. Skuska.
Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots.
Oh no, maybe it was her
Pretty
mentor.
bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the
The Hexen Circle members are
Never
certainly
mind.
anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now.
True. Her words were meant as a helpful hint, but when we will realize, was that the best answer that my question could have gotten?
Traveler, Paimon?
Oh, we're fine. We're just...
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed, but even so, I still hope for, and believe in, miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational, but fate may not be. It is cruel, but it can also be beautiful. Perhaps that's what En was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff. I need to get going.
Don't worry about it, Mona, and thank you.
It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Paimon feels kinda moved by what Mona said. But also kinda sad. Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like... Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we... Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on?
Maybe we're famous?
Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy. But that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report. A blonde adventurer with their white fairy, legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited, so while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead?
That sure seems to be the case.
Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will...
What a beautiful little waltz here.
Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices a day cake!
It hasn't already sold out for the day?
It was so delicious the last time we tried it. Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go. I'm sure it'll be great.
We can't let anyone get ahead of us.
One slice of cake, please.
Damn, you all fucked up.
Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Man, it's a melusine.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It
Uh-huh.
seems Monsieur Nervalet.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today. No, it's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Just eating. It's true.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here.
That's
I've got
cute.
something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
Sounded almost like Anya.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. I'm unsure this cake will be delicious.
She's kind of right, Veggie? Just need to take some Pepto and some Gaviscon.
It's more delicious than last time. And the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
I get the feeling this is like our last hurrah here before shit goes bad.
We're near the Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
We are? I don't... Maybe it's because it's nighttime. Probably because it's nighttime. Yeah. What? Oh no. Oh shit. Okay. I never did this. I'm going to speed through this. Oh, this is just... Phew. Wait, oops. I read it. It was fast. Hey, Zero. Zero. I'm having a very nice day. Thank you for asking. Perfect. Ooh, that was scary.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve! You just used us to make some quick mora!
Can we negotiate a profit split?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Really?
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
A friend of ours met you a while back, and when she mentioned it, we thought of coming to see you.
Thanks,
Her
Belle.
name's
Appreciate it.
Ah, so you know Miss Mona as well.
I don't know what that
She's
game
a
is.
guest columnist for our paper. Really good one, too. She's so young and already such a brilliant astrologist. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary Traveler and Paimon?
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
Yeah, you seriously wanted to interview me?
Yeah, are we even qualified enough?
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some props, and...
Ooh, I think Charlotte might
so much
die.
to get done now. Talk to you later.
So sad she'll never get that interview.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless.
That's not...
And then do you know what I'd do?
I don't think that's how
I'd
that
write
works.
that story, send it for printing,
You'd be dead,
and use
though, so-
messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job. And I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind.
Can't relate.
But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her.
I think she might be a
Anyway,
workaholic.
let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we?
She's like, I would just keep working. I think you might be a workaholic.
The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking.
Yes.
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do?
I would eat you.
No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
Stream's fine. What do you mean? Stream's not dead. Oh, if I could choose, huh? Stream issues again?
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Until the moment comes, I think I'll just keep journeying on.
You mean, still traveling?
Oh, it's the usual brief hiccup. Yeah, it's normal. Yes, cherishing every single moment that I have to look upon this world.
Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
Everything's peaceful. Everything's peaceful. Yeah, this track is nice, isn't it?
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here longer. But it's still better than the Fortress of Meropide, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide.
So are you under the impression that we might be wanted criminals?
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Did something happen?
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
Huh?
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
Nice.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right.
Oh, shit.
The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
I mean, that's true. I understand the situation.
Good. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on.
Ah, is that so? Well, all right then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
You sure caught on quickly.
If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in the city. And as we also know, she may be loud and when Nervillet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and it would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Huh. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up, too. Cool, huh?
I see becoming a detective's done you some good. Looks like those detective novels have had some effect on you.
In that case, there's not a moment to live.
Boom, 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 boom.
This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. Farina, right over there. She really is here all on her own.
Stay quiet for now.
Should I just give up? This is all meaningless. What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry. But what can I even do? Other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over.
Farina?
Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina. It's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you?
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? Disturbing my enjoyment of the art. They even dare to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be found. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Maréchaussée Phantom are freaking out right next to them too.
Stop trying to act tough, Farina. You're actually beyond devastated right now, aren't you?
Of course not.
Hey, there she is. The Hydro Archon's over there. Quick, after her.
Oh shit, we about to have to kill some civilians.
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they? That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
Slay them.
Farina just ran off. Damn it. Quick, we have to catch up with her.
Slay them as a god.
This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina!
What is wrong with you today?
Quick, come to Paimon before the
What's
rest
wrong
of them
with
catch
you
up to
today?
you.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here!
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
I'm literally always like this. I'm always being silly. Finally, we get some.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
This place is not what I would call soundproof. You might want to lower your voice to stay hidden.
You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
What's happening? The ground's shaking. Is it an earthquake?
Another disaster just struck, I suspect.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nouvellette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should go a lot smoother this time.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they've already...
Felt really weird that she called her good girl. That's kind of weird. Like, that just seemed sort of out of pocket. Like, just like a strange, like...
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants all over Tevat.
searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways too to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing, but all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
But even then, you still haven't given up, right?
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate.
So
but
she's racked
also
by guilt because of
for me to
she knows that
finally
she
be
can't
free.
stop anything. But that would also mean that all hope would disappear.
Indeed. I've thought about giving up so many times. Especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives. But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end. Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all.
Shut up, girl!
Don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just
Man,
now.
I knew a person like this in real life, and that was so incredibly annoying. You could never get them to say something for real because it was it's like, stop. Although I don't know what everyone might be keeping, what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness. Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you? If that's the case...
There's no time left. Please, Farina, just spit it out. Oh, please, please, please share. No more blue balling. Damn it, blue balls. Oh, what? Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my... Now, without further
Oh, I'm in this
ado,
scene. I'm in
we
this
may
scene, chat.
proceed to the trial of our god.
Yeah, I'm in this scene.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade against a god? I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a...
Wow. How utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
Shh! It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson.
Interesting. Okay.
It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes.
Cool.
You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am exceedingly disappointed.
She feels an enormous sense of pressure, but I'm trying to understand.
But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon.
Where did that come from? And her relationship with the previous Archon.
I, Farina, will
Thanks, Sunlight.
use this
Appreciate it.
trial to show the world the true meaning of justice. This time, I will protect you. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Focalor, will now begin!
Woohoo! Oh, now we're making history.
Oh, here's my. I think my line's on. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
We were so close to getting her to tell us the truth, and it still turned out like this in the end. It's okay, though. As long as we can defeat Farina in court, we'll still have a chance to figure everything out. Yeah, I had like a couple lines, nothing crazy, but I can't remember where they are. I think they happen in this trial, because...
Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinate. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean... the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina.
This is super engaging.
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontainian history.
Read the room. No one cares.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese,
Bro.
The volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and
That's
the
nice,
distance
dude.
it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson
I like
and
how
Hermes.
he's still... I am so proud of
It was
myself.
an Archon instead of a... My thanks, Farina. Without your help...
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support.
Ah.
The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off.
Probably loved
we had to
that.
select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig...
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
I'm sorry about that. We deceived you back there.
Then,
Nervilette and Cloran's part. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
She's so cool.
Thank you.
She's so cool.
As for you, Traveler,
Marco.
I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
No. You guessed wrong.
Oh?
My mission was to give you one last chance. We hoped that you'd share your secret with us before the magic box arrived onto the stage.
Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Yeah. The only thing we can do now is to judge the Hydra Archon. Still, I can't help but feel a little bothered by that conversation earlier. What did Farina want to say?
Please allow me to pass this. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something?
Oh, hey, Charlotte. Hey, girl.
Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? So she's already finished it, huh? Wait, then that means
Actually,
this document
you know, Paimon's
is a
voice is a little bit
perfect
pitched
timeline
down
of
in this.
everything that's
It's
happened
nice.
ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine. So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument.
It's a super practical gift. I never would have thought of using it this way.
Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
Ah, so that's how we include the mechanic from Act 1.
Defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duels you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for the history books, all right. I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time. I guess you could also see this as a happy coincidence. This is the first time Monsieur Nervilette had a difference of opinion with the Oratrice. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out. A Fatui Harbinger. She's an extraordinary person. Her instinct must mean something. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in a single day. That I didn't witness that scene personally will always be a source of professional regret, I think. According to Monsieur Nervilette, both Child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea at that time. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia. To be honest, that still gives me shivers. The words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly understood when something surreal happens to you.
Okay. I have read everything.
I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time.
Thanks.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
I was gonna say it.
Oh, come on, Nervilette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese.
Really interesting.
Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
That's true.
Oh.
My charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking our duty, but did I hear that right?
What the what?
She's not our Archon at all?
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge? Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah. Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor.
Nice music here. It's so cool.
Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that
Casts
will
doubt,
never be
shows
upheld?
confidence in Farina here
If
musically.
you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the god of justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives. What do you say to that?
I love that. Yarodo.
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
The people only see you as their Archon because that's their long-held belief.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
I've got to think carefully. What do we know to be special about Farina exactly?
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Such as a curse.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
It doesn't matter who gave us the information. What matters is the veracity of the claim.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
You sensed it too, huh, Neverett?
So, Farina, instead of an Archon, could you just be a cursed human?
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them.
It's actually not true because the
It's not
NPCs look
impossible.
way more basic than the gods, so you actually could tell a god from a human.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods. For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house.
Oh, she said it.
Or consider the endemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
Wait. That one trial proved the opposite. Farina actually had no control over the Oratrice Mécanique. Which would be this trial.
That doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't think this could...
Oh, fuck. Child's conviction. Yeah, because he voted against it.
You tried to reference the Oratrice, But weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon? Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day, but the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally. And it has been operating independently ever since it was first created. You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
Sure. We can put the Oratrice aside for now. But then, Miss Farina, could you give us a brief demonstration of your power as an Archon?
My power as an Archon? There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
You don't need to go that far.
A brief demonstration of your power over Hydro should be quite harmless. Surely an Archon can at least match the capacities of a human with a vision.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium. Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can That's me. be, how could they give up all their power? That's me. Can a god with no power even still be called a god? That's me, chat. Let me take a picture of that. Hold on. I gotta save that. One sec. Hold on. Where do I save that? Thumbnails. Let me save that picture. Boom. I told you. Told you I was in this. I forgot.
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Farina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me?
Hi, chat.
Please?
I told you I was in this one.
To believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And then all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is?
Retorting audience member number one is
You
better than
have no
Dvorak any day of the
evidence
week.
Another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such. Then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now? Seems like she really doesn't want to give up.
If we can't prove that she isn't the Archon, we can try to prove that she's just a human. And if she's only human... Throw her into the water. This is wrong, but I think it'd be funny. Yeah, I know. One sec, chat. One second.
And that means...
Sorry, chat.
Since you insist on claiming to be a god
was
and not a
letting
human,
my
then
fiance
there's a
know
method
that we
you
will
can
finish
use
the
right here
the
and
quest
now
Act
to eliminate
5
all
today.
suspicions of you being the latter.
And she should eat without me.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time
Sit
that
down,
I speak
girl.
out of turn. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago.
Pour some
those
on her.
of some of my closest
Let's
friends.
find out.
So, Miss Farina.
Yeah.
Would you dare to touch some of this seawater?
Ooh, that's juicy. Put your hand in
If you
there,
are indeed
sucker.
the real Hydro Archon, touching this seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case.
That's right.
But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse.
Damn, Yahtzee, they got
And
her.
I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve.
Her hand just melts.
I do hope you'll act prudently and choose a simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontainian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
Oh, damn, she's gonna do it? She becomes the whale. She becomes the narwhal. Farina?
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Always just.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... That's not what we thought she would...
Wow,
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina, you may...
She probably is some sort of...
Hey!
She probably has some way to... She actually... She's scared, though. Interesting.
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here!
She must have some, like,
haven't been dissolved.
protection against
Will you
it.
believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water!
Damn.
Really?
She's getting agitated.
Not the most obvious thing in the world!
Miss Siegewin? If you're present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siege, Win, don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewin.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Oh!
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Farina, You may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved.
Damn!
Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't believe... You...
But what's really going on here? Farina cannot have known the consequences of touching that water as a human. This is too unlike how she usually acts. Unless it's actually more important for her to keep up her facade than to save her own life? But hadn't she given up on everything a long time ago?
Listen to me, everyone. Please don't give me such cold,
Where's my character?
disdainful looks. What happened just now didn't prove a single thing. Think about it. How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
Damn. Am I gonna pop up, baby? Come on.
Please.
Damn.
Everyone.
Should have seen my...
Anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
So where's the real one? Is it the whale?
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
So I don't think that Nuvalet is the actual Archon. He wouldn't do all this. Wouldn't torture her like that.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
Nope, I wasn't in that either. I thought I was. I wasn't. Poor girl. Well, what's the deal, though? I want to know the truth.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of
He's definitely
Fontaine.
not the Archon, because he
As a
wouldn't do
human
that to her.
who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens.
She's reaching
Farina
out.
is
Guilty.
guilty.
Damn. So she was never the Hydro... But okay, so I have a lot of questions now, though. Who's the
We
real...
shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to
He
render
said
the
it.
final verdict on the charges.
He said it, chat. You're welcome. So where's the original Hydro Archon? Who is the actual Hydro Archon? Is there one? Has there never been one in the last 500 years?
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale,
He said it. He said it.
Farina is...
Says not guilty.
What's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
It can't be. Did the Oratrice just declare Farina to be innocent?
No. The Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Oh.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty to be punished via the death sentence.
Oh, shit!
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
Thank you for the,
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth.
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice,
He's like, well,
as well as its recommendations
time to
for
turn into a
criminal
dragon.
sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah, even Vache wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
But what's more strange is instead of Farina, the Oratrice rendered judgment on the Hydro Archon.
Indeed. Not only
I
is
bet you
Farina's
this is a
sentence
ploy by
overly
the
excessive,
knave.
The very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place. But now,
But who
the
is?
Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
I'm so glad this wasn't spoiled for me. This is pretty cool. This is such...
Excuse me, if I may interrupt.
Oh god, it's...
Is the trial still going?
Go back to sleep, buddy. Come on.
Fremine! Huh, you finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority.
Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately arranged for Fremine to try and find the missing slate.
And we know that the Harbingers are always
I looked
self-serving for the
everywhere
most part.
and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. But has the trial already concluded? Then doesn't that mean I've come too late? Oh no.
Oh god, okay.
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate.
Use that magic, dragon magic.
Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates, and would like you to come here and confirm their contents.
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
Oh, this looks like... the previous Hydro Archon releasing her divine power, turning the Oceanids into human beings. Ah, she's an Oceanid!
Sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
No, she's a human.
Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Farina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been...
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
An association between the context of the slate and the events in real life.
Let's try to recall the contents of the other three...
Well, I remember pretty clearly. There are 3 pictures. Select to check the descriptions on the stone slates to exact. Okay. You can find scenarios related to the stone slate's contents in the incidents recorded in the interview notebook. There you can verify the contents. Okay. As the verification process, the fountain water will in the menu interface will rise. When you have finished verifying all stones, the truth behind the prophecy shall be revealed.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids?
Damn.
Oh, Paimon,
That's kind of fucked up.
But if Oceanids can turn it, the second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together.
Right.
This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the third slate shows the Hydro Archon seeking into the sea surrounded by many people?
That's why it sounds so sad, because that Fontaine soundtrack is actually the original sin, I think. Interesting.
That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and we didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after
nice
that
and slow,
incident,
that's so good.
It was just a question of when and not if.
Right. The real events, the stone slates and the ruins showing the prophecy describe a history of the future. The first piece that was originally missing has been found by Fremine. It seems to show the former. That's verified truth, yes. It turns out the Fontaines can be dissolved by water. So we're okay. So I'm trying to verify the okay, and then the Neverla believed child of innocent interest of the primary sea beneath the Nevela's power. While exploring the ruins near Prosoma began to collapse, Nabia fell into the water containing the primary sea, only protection of the right. Okay, that could be a good way to verify it. And communicated with you, but connected. She believes the process will certainly happen, but that's for this one. So let me verify the truth of this. Well, actually, that doesn't verify. That's a belief. You. Fuck!
Sound quite right.
Damn it. Thought for sure it was right. And communicated with you something about she believes. The Hydro Archon guilty to be punished via this. Turns out Fontaines can be dissolved by water. This one. Yeah.
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontainians can be dissolved in primordial seawater.
Sure, show
and
some
the
of my
first
instincts.
Stone Slate tells us that long ago, the Hydro Archon used her power to turn Oceanids into humans.
Why the hell would she do that, though? All right, and then prophecy is show Celestia floating in the sky. Okay, this punished for the being guilty, but in the end, Farina didn't know why. This one I don't really. No, that's this one actually. So this one is this one. Yeah.
It's not as simple as falling in. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was subjected to judgment.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So every time they. Okay. Okay. And then this one. This one. Yeah. Oh wait. This one is. This one's this one. Yeah.
Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before.
Right.
And the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia has...
Okay. And then this one... No. I think... Damn! Son of a bitch! Because it was this one. Yeah.
The prophecy from the Stone Slates found its way into society. But not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropede was nearly... if we hadn't dealt with it...
Alright, chat. I'll take two. Two wasn't too bad.
Primordial sea, but won't cease to exist. Their
I'm gonna blame the wording.
in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid.
But where do they go then?
The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people.
Man, and they were like, "Stay with us! You can't leave!" They were absolutely parasocial.
The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meropede was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what.
Right.
The prophecy's contents can all be verified by recent events.
Fun. That's a really fun thing.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's how you can make sense of it! But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations.
Let's hear them.
The first slate reveals that Fontainians are not real humans. What the fuck? That's right.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
Our whole life is a lie.
Not real humans.
All Fontainians were originally created by the late previous
But
Hydro
why?
Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontainians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial. All of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Indeed.
The second slate reveals that the crime of the Hydro Archon was her creation of Fontainians from Oceanids. Ah, well, that Celestia was like, bro, what the fuck? Celestia was like, could you not do that, maybe?
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission.
Yeah.
That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
As for the third slate, I'm still convinced that it should come after the fourth slate.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate?
The fourth slate depicts the fulfillment of the prophecy as it's already widely known.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters. And did Paimon get all that right?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source.
Dragon power, bitch!
When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time, I was unable to come to a full conclusion.
Let's get all of it, come on.
Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well...
Okay, sorry, I skipped it because let's go. Dragon power.
Well?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you.
Damn, he got all that information out of
Your
one
hypotheses
pull.
regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon
Damn.
were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land.
Is that the Hydro Archon? The Hydro Archon's just like a blob of just a pair of balls.
The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the 7, did not possess the authority to create a new form.
Oh my god, it is! It is!
Not one to give in. She eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial
So where
restraints
did all
and
these people
return to
go
the sea.
though? When they return
As
to
a
the
result,
sea,
their forms would collapse.
because they're
and they
not
would be
dead
reverted
and they
to
still
their
have
original forms as
consciousnesses.
Oceanids.
Oh!
Of course, the Hydro Archon
Oh, never
never
mind. Sorry,
received
I thought it was
permission
raining.
from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine
All these
first
people are
came
like,
into being.
Oh, fuck.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating us.
But that's not the Hydro Archon.
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontainian.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the 3rd and 4th stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct.
So they are in the right order? What is the 3rd slate supposed to represent then?
A key point of the visual on the 3rd slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, Her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice.
That's Poggy. It can't be.
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
Oh, shit!
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy...
You can't escape fate! Oh!
In truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
Oh, no.
What should we do?
I don't know. It feels like there's no way out of this.
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate?
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions.
Wait, you don't have to be rude.
About the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meropide served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
I have? Wait, could it be? Actually, I don't know what it could be. Huh? Oh, we're doing this again.
It's just
okay.
a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
Secret of the Fortress of Mary Bees, the prophecy belongs for human. Secret of the Fortress of Mary Bees, from don't never let us steal it once more. Just how long will I prove? Prophecy is spread from there. She's actually afflicted with some sort of curse. The whale in the dream. It's the whale.
Yeah. It was both dream and reality.
So the whale is not part of the abyss. The whale is part of the primordial sea. It's the whale.
Talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
The truth.
It said welcome
the
to chat,
sin,
and I thought I lost
the trial,
my connection again.
And the root cause of the disaster.
Never mind. Ooh, this dinner smells good, chat. Oh, I'm in this. I'm in this, chat. I'll tell you when. Hey, why did it just show up out of nowhere, though? That was really convenient timing, chat. Oh! Someone in my comment about this said that this theme is the whale's theme, not Tartalia's theme. I want to say that they're wrong. Too bad someone already spoiled what happens to him.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the Opera House? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
Oh, that's right. I'd wager that it's also the one Child saw when he was young.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here.
It's the true Hydro Archon.
That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontainians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontainians nigh impossible to resist.
Oh.
Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Food in the form of Fontainians.
I'm not entirely clear on what's happening here. Like, I understand it's the primordial sea, but, like, aren't we in, like, a building and there's, like, this is the...
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this.
Is that fully the whale that he would summon?
Anyway,
I don't think so.
Now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy, all we need to do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
It is too late.
What do you mean?
It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself.
I swear, when I didn't know about this. I thought it was a part of the abyss.
Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed. That's not how
I'll fight it to the end.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
That's what ellipses look like.
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
Don't worry about YouTube chat. Mods, I'm literally not looking. I don't trust them whatsoever.
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
Could it be that even if the prophecy will be fulfilled, there will still be a way to save everyone? Oh, did I miss something? Wait, I forgot about Farina. What was it that she wanted to say to me at that last moment in the giant magic box? That sounds kind of funny. What is her real secret? Giant magic box, baby.
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Oh shit. Here's the pose. This is the pose.
Farina!
No, I still need answers.
Man, Genshin cutscenes are always so good. Ooh, there's so many nice twists and turns here. Oh, this is the... Oh, fuck. Come on. Getting blue-balled again. God, I've loved this act. I've loved this This is the original Hydro Archon. Which is the one that speaks without that crazy pitches. Farina?
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
Follower goal met. 8,000 subscribers on Twitch. Heyo, thank you.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
The sweet sound of bewilderment.
That's Focalor.
Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor? Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe. Now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies
You hear that
the heavenly
Fontaine,
principles
the
at one's
Fontaine
peril.
music in the background there? So cool.
So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. Yeah. Heavenly. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, chat. That's gorgeous.
I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor.
Okay, I'm a little confused, to be honest with you, because we touched the tier and now suddenly Nuvalet and Focalor are speaking, but that's not Farina?
Although, looking back now, it was hardly the
she was in
inheritance one dreams of, between the
Oratrice
task of saving
Mécanique.
the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans.
Quotidian.
I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known.
Jesus Christ.
After becoming a god, I
Thanks,
separated
Captain.
my
Thanks for that
divinity from
Prime
my
sub.
body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being.
After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day. Oh.
The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind.
Oh my god, it's just like
I
A.
named Farina.
Crazy.
She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Furina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in
But where was
every
she?
way.
Where was Fosler that entire
The
time?
person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Furina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy, under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy.
Man, that's so cruel,
all
though.
to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Furina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure.
Right.
It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Wow. 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 Man. I came into contact with Furina's tears. If I remember correctly, tears often contain a being's strongest emotions. With sufficiently strong hydrosensitivity, I can form an emotional connection, just like I did with the Oceanid at the Fountain of Lucine. Wait, could this be Furina's inner world? Furina? What is she doing on stage? Wait a moment. That probably isn't Furina. That's likely a reflection of her inner self. If I can directly speak to that self, I might be able to easily get what I wanted to know. I came here for answers. Either way, this opportunity is not to be missed. Let me try talking to her. Beautiful piano. This is the piano we hear in that. Nope, that's not the way.
Take it easy.
That's beautiful, by the way, chap. The way that she's standing there.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules.
Come on, it's me. Furina?
All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance.
But I don't see an audience here.
Oh, do not jest. Can you not feel it? I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontainians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility.
Something's off. There's no getting through to her. Even in her heart of hearts, she's still playing the role of the Hydro Archon. What sort of resolve must she have that even her inner self and subconscious would have such an impenetrable defense? I have to find a way.
Dear audience,
Ah!
the The performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey. Take it easy.
Shine down! Now you shall perish!
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
I see everything.
There is no escape!
That's right, tell him.
Shines eternal.
Tell him. Tell him, Raiden Shogun.
Wind Strider.
That's all the spotlights turned off. And Furina's heart, they must have symbolized the eyes of the people on her. Speaking of which, I think I just received some sort of signal. Was that her true voice? A ticket. When did that end up here? Yeah, either way, it looks like the show is about to begin. In that case, show me how you truly feel, Furina. Scene 1 before a mirror, Furina.
Furina. Furina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're near me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me. What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh, very good. You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other, Is it not obvious where this
Oh my god, the allegory, the connection here to Christianity is interesting. That's where my brain first went. It went to like in the Garden of Gethsemane.
You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you. Huh? Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade.
Still questions about this, but
you must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends.
Jeez.
But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial, huh?
I love how deep she is. That's really incredible as a character. She's so deep. I thought so right from the start. So cool. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Verena de Fontaine, your new Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all as the god Focalor, the god of justice. I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person, then?
Oh my god, this is like YouTube comments. It's terrible. I'm getting PTSD.
If you ask me,
Perhaps the succession didn't actually happen.
Why do I relate to this so much?
His own back puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting
I swear I never looked at the leak videos before I filmed them.
This is bad. If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving.
I swear I've got opera clips. I really did have a career in opera. Oh God, you found me out.
Right. Near me said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down.
Oh God, the people on Billy were right. I am losing my hair. Oh God.
How would they imagine a god to speak and act?
I did get fat, it's true. Oh God, Billy, no.
Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt.
Those are all true comments I've seen. Most recently, I was on Billy, and one of the first comments I saw was, "Why did Marco get fat?" It's called Happy Weight, because my life is good for once. You let him know, Billy. You get on the Billy. You let him know.
Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of
My barber
rule.
said I didn't need to shave my head yet.
Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test,
I like how the music is shifting into this like positive, strong
trials
sound.
alongside my august self. Here
Da, da,
in
da,
this
da,
opera
da. It's
house.
very positive.
You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Oh, Marco responded to my comment. Wow, I'm so sorry. I just assumed you'd never read it, so I decided to be a dick to you. Oh my God, you read every comment. You're perpetually online. That's kind of crazy. Wow, you really are a person with feelings.
Around. Best follow this flow and my dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no
Thanks for
longer
that
be
super
washed
chat.
away. Well, I say that the scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice. And on the other, praise and applause. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine. No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me to play.
Oh, okay.
There is no trouble in this world that justice
React
cannot
harder.
solve. All that is needed is for you, my people.
All he did was sit there and listen to the music.
and soul.
React more. Just listen to the music.
The Archon Focalor stand within the opera epiclese. So long as I stand before the oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neuvillette. Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, What kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things.
Oh.
That's true. I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright. And do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now. Do your duties.
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm. All right, Deuteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remembered me, and you knew of my family too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me.
You're such a gentle and wise god. Thank you once again, on behalf of my son.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it. All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water level.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods, after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy. The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time. But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. Maybe this is fine. All right, Farina, don't think too hard about this.
Wow, this is very long.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already. There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
Lady Farina, I've waited so long for this chance to see you in this manner.
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen. This joyous moment is an honor for us both.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up at the Institute. I don't think I let anything slip today. I must show the people that there is nothing to worry about. I just don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly exhausted. Best to rest early today, too.
Scene. Oh my god.
Lady Farina, I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Dioteria, almost 20
the
generations
forward
ago.
propulsion of time.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer, a descendant of a line most ardent.
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Farina. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Are you crying?
Oh my god, she's so tired.
Oh, really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
Wow. The pain that must be.
No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am honored to have witnessed it. Honored indeed.
So interminable.
She was waiting for a chance to end this. That's interesting.
Just how much longer? Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more. I never imagined that it would hurt so much.
Oh my gosh.
Have I reached my limit? No. Perhaps I reached it long ago. Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far? I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries, but there's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy.
She tried so hard to stop this from
All I can
happening.
do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me.
God.
You have to succeed.
That was so unfair of Focalor to put on. Putting her to death would free her.
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone. Your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
That's my voice? Is this scene from... This is great. I didn't think they would...
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you? If that's the case... He's right. I could confide in him, couldn't I? But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the ones to pay the price. No, Farina. You shouldn't be selfish. But what if it's really alright? Farina, you've worked so hard for so long. Surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once. Just this once.
Poor girl.
Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows? Surely it could not hurt. If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, it might never come by again. Think about it. Long and hard.
Poor thing.
No, I have nothing to say.
Damn.
I am Farina, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
Fine.
You notice this repeats a lot. It's actually interesting to me how much this song repeats.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her
The
in
cycle.
on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself.
All Fossilor cared about was
She did
deceiving.
very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries,
There's that Fontaine theme again in
Fontaine
this.
would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works. But that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine? That is the most important thing.
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine. Yet,
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness.
So she was living
And
in
when he
there.
did mention that he heard a human
Okay.
voice within
So
the core
Fossilor was
chamber.
inside.
It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along.
and then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth.
Bro, you're talking to a dragon.
In
so.
truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
Wow.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be accumulated to enact this
She's
death
been
sentence.
accumulating to
Was
kill.
all a part of your plan then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice, but only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne.
Wow.
Rules established by Celestia.
So it's an act of defiance against Celestia and destroying the concept of the Seven.
Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Fossilor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent.
Returning what's rightfully yours to you.
Oh, I called it! I called it!
This was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked. Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence, defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on. That should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians,
And so releasing the burden of
have shouldered
sin
the burden of this
by ending
sin
it.
for far too long. Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land. When you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too, at last. I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalor. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Da 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 ya da da do yo. Da da ya da da ya da da ya da 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 ya. Wow. Wow. So she ended the cycle. Oh, Gorgeous music. Let's go, Dragon Man! Oh, he's back.
I, Judex Nuvelect, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
They're no longer going to be Oceanids. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I was right. Fontaine is definitely the best story that Genshin's put out.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
Didn't you say just a moment ago?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the Primordial Sea from that creature. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice. The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring Narwhal. Come with me, traveler.
How does he know that? Okay.
The hour of execution has come.
Well, I'm so glad that Genshin killed the main character. That's exciting. How convenient for you, chat, that after we do this, you can go watch my video on this that I released.
We're going to execute it? But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
Oh, big-ass motherfucker!
The size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source.
This is a cool-ass boss fight. Look how beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful.
I shall share a part of the ancient
Holy fuck!
We shall look for an opening together.
Love these. It's horror strings in here too, you know? It's terrifying. A visitor from the far side of the Sea of Stars.
Shine down.
Should probably try to hit it, actually. I don't have any healing, so that's probably not good. Destroy the eye.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility.
Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Should I be eating? Okay, I guess. Ah, okay. Oh, this. That's why it has this crazy. That's so fucking dope in context. Holy shit.
Torn to oblivion. Illusion shattered.
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Oh man, I am going to die.
The ancient dragons. Witness the might of the primordial sea.
This like soprano swelling thing is fucking cool.
Shine down.
Oh.
Wind strike. There is no escape.
actually really like it in context. I don't know that the song works out of context, but in context, it's incredibly dope.
Shine down, wind strider.
It does have Sea of Quanta from Honkai Impact 3rd for sure.
Make yourself a move.
Things are about to get dicey. Gotcha.
You know, I think this game's gonna be just fine without Yu Peng Chen. Damn, beat the shit out of that whale. Oh! There's a Ska? Can you do emote only, chat, please? Why should you just do that? If that's not a Honkai Impact 3rd character, I don't know who it is.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
That power. Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master.
I'm from Honkai Impact 3rd, actually.
It was the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world.
The stalking here.
So you may speak to me as equals.
What sort of person would take the all-devouring narwhal as a pet?
I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sertologi.
Sertologi?
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
The Fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfulnir then? Or Gold Rhindaughter?
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhindaughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either, but I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhindaughter. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
No. There's little to be surprised about, Paimon. It is natural, after all. The prophecy will surely come true. However...
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne.
Oh, hey, Chad, I'm in this. I'm in this. I've already seen this cutscene.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Wait, no, not that cutscene. Oh, yeah, this cutscene. I'll point it out. That's me. That's me. Right there. This guy. That's me.
Hey! Help! Over here!
That's me. Help! Over here! This is me swimming. That's me jumping onto a boat.
All hands, initiate emergency rescue!
Hurry! Hey, lend a hand!
Man, so that's all we get about Skirk, huh? Nice variation on this Fontaine theme. Well, so Child's not dead. We don't actually know that Child's dead. We just know that he got sent back to where he goes. He'll come back.
Look! The water's receding!
It's not good enough. They didn't kill him.
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Major.
Are you alright? We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.
It's so beautiful. I like that she yeeted. She picked him up and she was like, get the fuck in there.
The Summer renewed. The Spina di Rasula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Spina di Rasula, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing
You can remove emote from Twitch.
You just need a little
I'm sure there's
of
not
it.
much else to spoil.
Skyship Winglet, lunar brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Jurier turning out to be a once overlooked hidden gem. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team. Wow! Paimon barely recognized
Genshin's
the people
cutscenes
in the
always
report.
go hard.
Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
They might have been really big shots, but we just...
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed,
we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down. The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those people. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
The articles do make me curious about how things will play out.
I'm curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the fortress. There are some things you'll only know when you get there.
So why did someone in my chat say rip child? He doesn't seem to be dead at all. Sigh. I was so wishing he would die. He got yeeted. Where did he go? I wonder where he went. Curious. Still haven't gotten a lot of interaction. I thought for sure that the knave would be... Skirk is Alpha from PGR.
Navia!
Because they're stupid.
Oh, it's you.
Hey,
The entire time I thought Child died, I got all disappointed.
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here.
Disappointed that I found out.
Oh, the Fatui are here too.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garun Snezovich.
Snezovich.
The knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is helping with our work.
I thought for sure that the knave would be the
Residents are
main
hard
baddie,
at
though.
work as well.
Interesting.
Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely. We've lost a lot of people, but we're moving forward. That will have to be enough.
I mean, I feel like this
Hello,
Act
Miss
5 was...
I'm a big fan of yours.
Act 5
I
of this
especially
was
like that article
absolutely
you
a
wrote last year about
10 out of 10,
Fontaine's
don't you
stray
think?
cats.
Like, I don't know. I feel like that was a solid 9 out of 10.
But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
Yeah, Child was
I
passed
get
out.
where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clarence?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat. All right. She really came here to help me out.
There's too much to consider.
I
in
wonder
the
what
reconstruction
spoiler
of
I saw. I must have seen a spoiler for
The Spina have
Farina's
need of
story
more
quest then.
decision-makers.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And, well, I do already happen to be connected to Mr. Callis.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel.
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor, for Navia's sake?
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the Traveler.
I really
It's
liked
better than
all
wasting
Devouring
time
Narwhal
persuading
in
Chlorant at
context,
any rate.
way more than out of
Of course
context.
I will. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. All
It's
right,
so
then
intense.
everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up.
I'm still
And
percolating on that.
Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Clarand.
Wow, you really do have that never say die spirit. I'm impressed.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
You already knew she was going?
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Nervillette, and he told you.
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Nervillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media?
Good night, Lenny.
I told him that it was best
Thank you
not
for all
to
your
speak
hard
too
work
soon.
today.
There's no guarantee that Ridesley will make a personal appearance.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them. In which case, I'll be making a move first. Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
I'm curious to see what's going on with New Valette, to be honest with you. Well, I guess I'm about to find out. Oh no, we're going back to that word of the enemy.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance to—
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
These two.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need. Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be published on the cover of the Steambird?
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier.
Sir, please don't say things.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you then?
No, I just... This is my first time being interviewed, and I'm very thankful to the Steambird for...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. You've definitely got more of that genius vibe going on. The boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back there, like an emissary of legend. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Huh. Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive...
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
She really does know how to squeeze opportunities for all they're worth, huh?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a...
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. We've seen this kind of thing before. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
Ah, Sijuin.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head nurse? Sure. Come on, Miss Sijuin. Over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Huh? Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the fortress?
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone some changes, but this place is still more or less the same.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurier?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two. I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Oh, actually, what about you? change for you too?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. All right, last stop, the docks.
This is kind of a weird ending. Like, just interesting pacing, that's all. Ah, where we started it all. Hey, Sumero.
I follow the wind.
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these.
I mean, it's better than like, it's better than the questions thing.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget is it? It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you trick a friend.
Like right now, I want to talk to Nouvelette, and I want to talk to Farina,
like
and I want to move on. You know, like because I feel like this is the important.
Is this what you meant by I'll help you make some more friends?
To be
they're
honest,
cute.
that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure.
Damn.
Please, write down my address.
Got that riz.
Sure are working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Sounds like that would suit him.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Per as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
That's kind of funny though.
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with the first step.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants to take a picture of us.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. So, how have things been, Traveler?
I'm doing all right.
Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fontaine.
That's all right. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Neuvillette opened negotiations.
Oh, shit!
He gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
Oh, fuck! Why would he do that?
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it over, there were actually a number of things going for it. It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine.
So that's how she got it.
Well, that's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about. Doesn't this seem a bit irresponsible?
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Neuvillette has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
So there's some reason for this that only Neuvillette knows about?
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes, speaking of which...
Isn't he real busy and stuff? Paimon didn't think he'd have the time for that. But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave, right? What about Child?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
Well, I guess I can now call him one of my war buddies.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatu side with them this time.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Oh.
Father. Well, well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the Traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind. I would have done them regardless.
Are you going to take the Gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
That is our duty as harbingers. Yes, don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done.
Will you keep your position?
Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever? As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourself
There's
to
no...
be great partners.
There's no... Actually, I just remembered something. Please help us deliver this.
A vision? All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for
So now there's no
this
Archon
entire
in
time.
Fontaine. The seat is empty. Interesting.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take...
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable. Farewell.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews.
I didn't mean a
Thank
literal
you all.
seat. I meant
This'll be
I meant
more
the
than
phrase.
enough for me to write about, I'm sure.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. And what do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now. So many things have happened, but the pockets are still the pockets. I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths, and serendipity will lead you to your fated friends. All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later, so we'll get going now. Have a good day, you two.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte off. Shall we go see how Neverlette's doing?
Yes, please. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how all of this unfolds because, after all, like, someone in chat mentioned that there's only one more Gnosis to get, which I'm sure they'll get it, and then like how things unfold with Conria and Celestia and everything, and just it's just crazy because.
The entrance to the fortress. Ooh, he really is there.
Very intriguing.
So, you really are here, Neverlette. Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you for keeping us on your mind, what with you being busy and all. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to it.
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
I only saw Farina's part myself.
Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontainians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element.
Fuck.
Fontainians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontainians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone.
You could say that it was at that moment that the Fontainians were finally truly born.
Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too!
Oh, that's a nice recap. Yeah, cool.
It
Now that
seems
makes
from
sense.
your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know
Oh,
it.
damn, it's this thing.
I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association, or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess Focalor had Fontainians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon suddenly got another question. Back when Fontainians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontainians would often come to the Fountain of Lucine to pray for children?
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Whoa.
Paimon sorta gets it now.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, about that. Risley said Farina has already left. What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me before leaving the Opera House.
So in a way, he did become
related
the
Focalor's words
Archon,
to her
even though
faithfully
he's
and
obviously a dragon.
After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest.
Oh, poor girl.
Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the Opera House. Not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal.
She trips on a
But
rock
now that she no longer has to
and
play the role of Focalor
dies
the
on
Hydro
accident.
Archon, she can finally lay down her burdens and lead a normal life.
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've regained your full powers as the Hydro Dragon?
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear
think she's
cases and
a
pass verdicts
mortal
by
human.
myself.
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Udex shall coexist within my person. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it? Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay. Where are they getting their energy from?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right!
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need the Gnosis's power. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
Okay.
What complicated considerations? Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude to the knave and as an apology to Child.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume.
Whoa!
I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
Oh shit.
A nation of dragons?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence
Natlan
with
is Pyro,
humanity.
yeah.
Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the knave that I believe may be useful to you. The harbinger known as the Captain has
Il
thrown
Capitano
his hand into the endless ring of war.
The Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. Paimon's still got a question about the note. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. They are certainly sharp. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface.
Okay.
It went something like this.
Also, I gotta go. This has been taking a minute. But I know that we probably have like 5 more minutes.
We're going to head topside to see... Whoa!
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference.
I liked it a lot,
I can
Soccer Mom.
finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Ah, of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
Huh. According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
Who is
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense, which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans.
Humans?
Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts, and my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
This third descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger then.
Okay. It's getting deep. I like that.
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on to you.
The remains of the third descender? So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces.
They're
How could they be a
urns.
person's remains?
They're
All
urns.
the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play, that is what she meant to say.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk
So
by
isn't
keeping it here.
the Harbingers having the Gnosis putting them at risk? That's interesting. I am the fourth descender. For me, this information means two things. One, that the Gnosis are related to descenders, and two, that the one who came before me has already died.
I guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third descender. I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision. No, let's not think about this stuff right now. It just feels creepy.
Interesting is what you mean.
Traveler to the dead third descender and all.
Don't worry. I won't die so easily.
That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck. Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
All right. Whatever the case, it seems like the crisis here in Fontaine's over for now.
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human. Was that really what she wanted?
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will.
Can you understand the will of the gods?
I suspect not. But once in a while I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all. And what ultimately is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us?
Wow, we did it. Wow. Cool. That was so much fun, chat. I loved that to bits. I can't believe it. Can't believe we finished that puppy, huh? That was so incredibly satisfying, chat. I loved it. I loved it so very much. I hope you enjoyed it too. I had a really good time with you tonight. It was so much fun. Yeah. That was great. Really, really great. Just thrilling in every sense of the word. Well, with that, I gotta head out. We're gonna go to the grocery store, but I just wanted to say I'm super grateful that you were hanging out with me today, and we'll talk super soon. I think we'll come do some casual Genshin exploration stuff, and yeah, that was awesome. I'll talk to everybody later. Okay, feel free to join the Discord if you're not a part of the Discord. Feel free to check out all the videos, and go check out my all devouring narwhal video now, and